Do you guys remember those 12-foot skeletons that were super popular like 12 years ago? And you get one, you're like, what the heck am I going to do with this thing? And then you're like, I don't even know what to do. Maybe I paint the sign, make it look like someone wants to hang out with it. So you make a sign that says, get on my lawn, but you don't do it good enough. So you do another one with a picture with your daughter and a knife. And then you're like, what the heck? This is too scary. Let me get my daughter out of here. And then it breaks. It broke in half, and then you got to figure out, Kay, you got to fix this. She fixed it. She fixed it this one time. Ready, go.
Check out this great shot. The idea is to fix him, not make him worse. Ah! I don't find that humorous. Conservative with the application of the wash in this part of the rib. Honestly, it's more intimidating than it appears to be. It is massive. This thing is huge. With my furry companions by my side and the first layer of wood stained, applied, and dried, I was ready to cut loose. I got started on the tedious process of adding effects that would give our skeleton the look of rotting flesh, peeling away from his many massive bones. The materials I used were all very basic and affordable. Plastic wrap, a heat gun, yarn, some gauze, spray foam, and even more wood stain. With the base layer of our bones now dry, the project was ready for its next step. Now, the torso is intimidating just on size alone. No joke, it is just as tall, if not slightly taller than me. All 5 foot and 3.75 inches of me if you don't include my hair. Good God, it's big. Our 12-foot skeleton, who's been affectionately named David Bonerman, has been living in a broken and dismembered state since his tragic fall on a cold and windy day, shattering his shoulder and breaking a few fingers and ribs in the process.
All right, this was the part I was avoiding the most. I'm gonna try to reconnect this part. And this guy will go right there.
Reconstructive surgery went well. I attached a few pieces of PVC and set them with a series of screws and spray foam. I knew the foam and the other special effects would hide the screws and PVC, so no worries. It was time to add more materials to make him look nasty. Yet another layer of plastic and a different color of stain over our already wrapped and stained bones. He's looking sick. This was my first time to give this technique a try. I have heard from experienced craftspersons that typically the thinner the plastic, the easier the application. I was working outside and I got a lot of extra experience points on this. The outside temperature, the difference in results from high to low levels of heat, the distance of the heat gun to the materials, how many layers of plastic I applied, how thickly they were wrapped. All of these factors will make a difference. During this process, I loved seeing a few neighbors stop and check in on our progress as we were going along. Lastly, it was time to tackle the skull. I wanted to make sure it also got the special effects treatment, but I wasn't exactly certain on which direction to go with it. So many ideas, so many possibilities, and so many cool techniques I just learned. So, I just started. It was the best time to put to use all the skills and techniques I just developed while working with the rest of his disgusting and sizable body. While I was at it, I thought I might as well try a couple of special effects techniques on a few other creatures I created. This one is an old doll head with a portion of a cow spine and glittering red strands of Christmas tinsel. You know, just everyday items from around the house. The skull of Bonerman was turning out nicely. I added a few layers of paint to give the teeth some more definition and introduced my mannequin Jennifer to her new tiny cow part and plastic companion. As the sun set, along with the layers of paint, we began to assemble the giant, gross pieces to our intimidatingly tall friend. I didn't even think about trying to get the LED lights and the eyes to work. But, I mean, hey, we have to have something for next year, right? And the eyes have it.
You know, I'm driving around all the time and I see all the skeletons everyone puts up in decorations. That's definitely the best skeletons that I've
Man,
seen.
you know what that
Probably
is?
ever out here.
That's the one that everyone was buying a couple years
Was
ago.
it? I haven't
The
seen it.
12 foot.
Oh!
But she put plastic all over
Modified
it, and like all these bones and everything, she put.
He was almost ready, but we realized one of the arms was fractured, and we still needed a couple more supplies to keep David B. Big Bones firmly planted in his erect state. So, for one more night, he remained horizontally grounded.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween, everybody! Come on, hot dog. Chill out, Bobby.
Finally, the big day arrived. Halloween was here! The pets and I was stoked to get this project off the ground. Feeling small but mighty, it was time to erectify. Behold, my behemoth bone beast! Man, 12 feet sure does look taller than I remembered. And now that David Bonerman has been restored to his full, upright, and terrifying position, we were cleared to take off to the streets for a night of trick-or-treat. And finally, to showcase our erect monstrosity, Cliff came over with his gear to capture our creepy creature. And as ironic as it may sound, this project was so restorative for me personally as an artist. Who knew that working to make something look so dead would end up making me feel so alive? So many artists will say that the real art is in the process of doing, and I found that to be so true.
You guys, I don't even know if you know how crazy this David Bonerman project has been. The skeleton lives again. You have so much beard. This is awesome. This is happening in my own front yard.
Thank you so much for joining us on this re-erection of our 12-foot skeleton, David Bonerman.
you're down with OTP, yes, you know us. We also used him for Christmas.